Hey agents, welcome to another edition of Blind's VOD Reviews. Today we are looking at another returnee, ViCeGLizZy. We did his review a couple weeks ago. He needed work on using skills with purpose, his confidence, and using cover properly. So let's get into his gameplay now. I believe he's running a kind of a standard unbreakable build with the capacitator. Unfortunately, he's starting this match 3v4. I haven't watched this match at all in advance, so this is all fresh for me. All right, so we're using the seekers to kind of flesh out where the enemies are. Okay, we've put ourselves... Okay, I'm curious why... Why did we run down this alley? Okay, so you threw your seekers. Okay, so your seekers were completely different direction. Why did we go down the alley here? You're following your teammate. You've kind of bottlenecked yourself here.
Hostile explosive seeker mine detected.
You had map control. You had the middle of the map. You could have run down, instead of coming down here in the alley, where now you're bottlenecked. Now you've given the other team this whole area. Right, when you were here, okay, maybe you felt you were threatened from behind, you didn't know where they were. Well, in that case, why not run down this part? You've got lots of cover over here, and now, okay, you're giving up that part of the map, but now you control this part of the map, right? Or at least the center of the map. Yeah, but to run down this alley, I get it, you were 3v4, but yeah, you've just given them the entire... Is this a confidence thing? We'll see. Okay, so you've got a teammate up there. Oh, he's running. He's trying to pull off a flank, it looks like. No, he's right in there. He's getting his hands dirty.
Hostile stinger hive detected.
Okay. So one of the things we needed to work on was using skills with purpose. I'm not really sure. Now, if you just drop your seeker mines, it's perfectly fine, right? A lot of people do that. A lot of people will run around with their seeker mine at their feet. And they get into a fight, then they stick it on the guy, and it's good to use to stagger or to temporarily take somebody out of a fight. But to throw, so you got to remember, when you're throwing a skill, it's really clunky in this game, right? Skills, grenades are really clunky in this game. So when you're throwing it, you got to wind up, you're slowing down, you can't shoot, right? It's like 2 or 3 seconds where you're taking yourself, you're becoming just like a pylon for a couple seconds. So if you're throwing a skill, first off, I think here you're pretty safe, right? You don't have to worry about it. But you have to be right. Okay, I'm gonna throw my skill. I'm gonna throw it here because good reason. Here, I can't see a good reason why you would throw your seeker mine 4 meters in front of you. If you think that there's somebody in this area, just drop it at your feet, right? That's boom. Just a quick millisecond taking you out, right? You don't even have to slow down. Okay, we've got 3 guys on the roof now. I would be livid if I was on this team. Not saying you're doing anything wrong, it just, okay. Teammates getting down, let's go with them.
Agent down.
Good.
Hostile hive detected.
You have a revive hive? Looks like it. Again, in that situation, you're just throwing it a few meters in front of you. Just drop it at your feet. If you know the guy's there, just drop it at your feet and then select him to send it over to him. Don't take that time to throw the skills unless you're Kobeing your seeker mines. Just drop it at your feet. There you go. There you go. Okay? Right? You're using Unbreakable, right? You did a great job of you know, your Unbreakable procs. It's like another life for you. You don't have to get it. You don't have to put on a med kit. You don't have to do anything. You just stay in the fight. That was perfect.
Boost about to activate.
I think a lot of people there, they you know, they're Unbreakable procs and then they get scared but that's defeating the whole purpose of using Unbreakable, is you don't have to be scared. All right, let's see how this goes.
Serious trauma detected.
You're good movement.
Vital signs critical.
There you go. That's fine.
Agent incapacitated.
I would be pretty pissed. Oh, that was lucky. That was lucky. That was so lucky. That was so. I see. You're crawling to. You're crawling. You're almost fully in cover. Your teammate kind of pushes you back. If you're reviving somebody in that situation, give him another second to get fully behind cover. I hate it when I'm trying to crawl behind cover and my teammate comes in, bless their soul for taking the time to try and revive me. But when they revive me before I can get into cover, right? So right now your leg is hanging out, the enemy hits you with a couple shots, boom, you're dead. Whereas if he lets you crawl for another half second to a second, you get fully behind cover. Okay, they want to stop that revive. Well, they've got to push all the way up around that corner, and that gives the reviver time to stop reviving and shoot the guy who's pushing. But you got lucky there that they didn't, they were too scared to push.
Hostile stinger hive detected.
Okay, now I want to actually go back a little bit, here. To why you, if there was anything you could have done to not get downed here.
Vital signs critical. Agent incapacitated.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got him sitting down behind cover there, I can't really argue with this play to push, right? Because you know you've got him in a vulnerable position, but you also know their whole team is up, right? And where is their whole team? Their whole team is back at the end of this street. It's a really risky push to, you know, come up here. You got him. Success, but he's in no man's net. He's in no man's land right now, right? You can, he can't do anything. You control his destiny. What probably would have been a better idea is from here, just from this position. Throw. I know you got the worst grenades in the game, but in this case, I would have 99% of the time when you're on technician, you're not going to want the EMP grenades. I mean, 95% of the time, I should say. I would just swap to frag grenades at the beginning of the match, just so you don't have to swap to it in a situation like this. They're gonna be more useful. So swap to your frag grenades. In this case, you could just sit here, throw a grenade, throw a frag grenade on. Right? It's a really easy hit, because you know he's right here. Right? You know exactly where he is. He's got nowhere to roll. So if he rolls out of cover, shoot him. Okay? If he doesn't roll out of cover, he just eats the grenade, well, you know what? Throw another one. Throw another one at him, right? And that one will probably kill him or force him out of cover, and again, you can shoot him. I would say most people would not think to throw grenades there, but, you know, knowing that you've got the whole team, you've got, you know, they probably here, and then over here, right? Pushing up here, it's pretty risky, especially because there's no cover. Well, there is cover, but it's not great. So you got him. So here, yeah. What could you have done? You could have walked up here. You got this. I honestly don't know. I've never used this as cover. I don't know if you could have used this and protected yourself to put on a med kit. Yeah, I think this is kind of, it's a tough situation. You've put yourself into a tough situation here.
Vital signs critical.
But all's well that ends well, right?
Agent incapacitated.
I don't know why this guy. He's just potatoing. Yeah, I just think in general, not enough players use grenades.
System disrupted.
They got a little vial tick now.
About to expire.
I can respect that.
Hostile explosive seeker mine. System.
You got him, get out. Oh, I hate that so much. I'm sorry. But this is not because you do it. It's because I see so many people do this. Okay, so you're stuck to cover. Okay, not yet.
Seeker mine detected.
Okay. I'm gonna say maybe the reason you got hit by that seeker there was because originally you're stuck to cover. Your reaction, when you're stuck to cover, it takes a little bit extra time to react to things. It takes a little bit extra time to move out of the way of things. That's why I say most of the time, do not stick to cover. You stuck to cover again. Okay. Now you see the guy there. Where was this? Let's go back just a little bit. Okay.
System disrupted. Boost about to expire. Hostile.
Okay, so I know one of our things for today was using cover. Okay. Yes, using cover, but not necessarily sticking to cover as you would in PvE. Right? PvP is a lot more fast-paced, right? You're going to have to change your position a lot more than you do in PvE.
Seeker mine detected.
That's why sticking to cover is fine and dandy in PvE, but it's not usually the best option. Okay, so we see this guy here. Okay, we see this guy here. What do? We slowly inch over in our cover. Okay, now we aim down sight till we shoot him. Why? He's standing right there. No, we take our time to throw a skill. Again, you're throwing the skill. Even here, just drop it so you can get some shots on him immediately. Throwing the skill, it's taking another second or two. Oh, see how little control you have when you're stuck to cover. See how little control you have. How finicky it can be.
An agent needs assistance.
That's unlucky. That's unlucky. I like the confidence, though. I love it. That's just like, what can you do? What can you do? Perfectly placed sticky bomb. You gotta respect that. Okay, so I'm really liking what I see so far. Biggest thing I think is your confidence. You're playing with the idea that, you know, I can get kills, right? I can kill these guys. Ugh, sticking to cover. You know what you do here? Okay. There's no reason to stick to cover here. Okay? Just run up to here, stop here. Just stop here in third person. Just stand here facing the truck. You're just going to stand there facing the truck. You can see everything beyond that. You don't need to be in cover. Let's say there's somebody that is just coming around this corner, right? And you go and stick to cover. Oh, he can hear that. He can hear you sticking to cover. And you know what? When I hear somebody sticking to cover, I think that person's vulnerable. That person is not ready to fight. That person is not in a position to fight. If I push that person, I'm going to win the fight. Right? I'm prepared. They don't know I'm there. Right? A huge, yeah.
A specialization supply drop has been erased.
Lucky. Why did we throw it? What were we throwing it at? Just drop it at your feet. And if you see somebody, right? Sick it on them. Good. Checking all your corners, right? You're keeping an eye on the roof. You know something's happened up there, but there's not really much you can do about it down here unless he's in a vulnerable position, right? So you're keeping an eye. I like that. So you saw him. Your teammates took care of him, but you knew he was there. Why? Because you had that spatial awareness, right? You knew there could be somebody up there. Let's double check as we run by. Now we're going up top. Well, we just had a teammate up there. Got a little bit of technical difficulties there. Okay, you're all that time climbing up the ladder, right? Kind of backtracking. All of this time, it's downtime. You're not in the game. You're not even putting yourself in a position where you could be in the fight, where you could be helping your teammates. You're going the other way. Especially you saw a teammate coming down from there.
Friendly claiming the supply drop. The specialization supply drop has been claimed by an ally. Halfway to the finish.
So you've got your defender drone up, okay? And you've got teammates pushing ahead of you. I don't use a defender drone. I don't use drones, but why not give it to one of your teammates? If they're pushing ahead, why not give it to one of your teammates? Right, and you want to stay a little further back. You want to use your rockets. Perfectly fine. I have no problem with the way you're playing this. But right now, nobody's going to be shooting you. You're behind two teammates, right? Give it to one of them. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
System restored.
Yeah, so, oh, okay. Oh dear.
Serious trauma detected. Agent down. An agent
Okay.
needs assistance.
So when you got somebody with a sticky bomb and you're trying to, I mean, it's a very powerful specialization. Oh, nice. Very powerful specialization weapon, but oh, that's your teammate. They got somebody with a sticky bomb on their team. Right? It's a lot faster to shoot a sticky bomb than it is for you to lock on with the rockets and then shoot those off. So by standing out in the open, trying to hit somebody with that, you're putting yourself big risk.
Boost about to come online.
No one's retreating. The fight continues. The rogues have run out of reinforcements. You can win this.
Boost online. Agent down.
No one's retreating. The fight continues. The rogues have
Okay, let's take a look at this hive here.
You can win this.
So you've decided. Did you run in? I think you're in the radius of the hive right now, right? You're eating it? Yeah. So you've decided not only to run into, so here you're in a good position, but not only did you run into the radius of the hive when you could have shot it from outside of it, you started shooting it in the middle of the street. Okay. Just be careful here, because if you're down and shooting a skill, right? Skills have a lot of health, right? But somebody comes around that corner, right? And they see you shooting down at the skill, they can free fire on you, right? Especially if it's a hive. If they down you, you're dead because you're bleeding already. Try to use an angle a little bit better so you can, right, show yourself as little as possible
Functioning.
and still be able to shoot the. Okay, let's see what's going on here.
Allies are acquiring the boost. System reactivated.
Oh,
Hostile Stinger hive detected.
that was a bit of a bit of an odd one.
An agent needs assistance.
Okay, so what happens here, start to finish?
System malfunctioning.
Okay, so I can understand you not wanting to commit to that. Fully understand it. Now you want to put on a medi. Right?
Allies are acquiring the boost.
And that was a situation where sticking to cover was the good choice, was the best choice. Okay, so you come down here, you roll. I like it. He rolls, and then you roll again. You love rolling, and I like rolling. I like rolling too, but sometimes it's can be a little much. Then you got him anyways. All's well that ends well. Let's see if we can get one of the last two kills.
Activate. The boost is being
Why
taken
are we
by
throwing it?
allies. The boost has been taken by allies. Hostile explosive seeker mine detected.
Wow, let's get something to finish it off. Oh, they're sitting in spawn. Okay. So how do we play this? Oh, we got one. One left. You want it? It's all yours. Yes. Yes. Okay, now. Why were you so easily able to take him out? What mistake did he make that maybe another player in this room sometimes makes? Let's rewind that just for a second. Let's rewind that just for a second.
Agent down.
Oh, why isn't he shooting you? What's going on here? Is he unnecessarily throwing a skill? You can now see from the third person view how how vulnerable you are when you throw a skill like that, right? What should he have done? Well, he could have easily just dropped it, and probably for the better, just dropped it on the corner here, right? He throws it out there in the hall. You guys can just shoot it. Doesn't do anything, right? And especially if it's going to be hitting you guys when you're not even in the spawn, right? If you're going to sit and spawn, if you're going to abuse the spawn debuff, abuse the spawn debuff. I hate to say it, but yeah, just drop it here, right? And again, you don't have to throw it. You just drop it. Somebody's coming. Drop my hive and run. Not and run, right? You see how much quicker it is. And then he could, scurry back here like the rat that he is, right? No, I'm not trying to take shots at this player at all. Like, I think he just respawned. He didn't even have a chance to push out a spawn. But you can see what I'm saying, right? Throwing skills versus dropping your skills, it just leaves you vulnerable. You never know when it's going to happen to you. That could have been you 4 or 5 times this game, right? But fortunately it wasn't. And he paid the price. He paid the price for your sins. He learned the hard way, you learned the easy way. Good for you. But I still think we need work with the skills. I honestly didn't see much value. I know this is just one game. I didn't see you getting much value from the Seeker Mines. In fact, overall, it might have been a negative skill for you, just because you're throwing it every time, and it could have gotten you killed several times. So if you really want to use the Seeker Mines, I would really suggest working on rethinking how you want to use them. For what purpose are you using them? There's a lot of other skills that the defender drone, okay, boom, right, just tap your shoulder and it's up there, right? Scanner pulse, jammer pulse, a lot of other skills that aren't going to will never be a negative skill for you. So yeah, so again, we're gonna put skills here to work on. This time, again, it's still using them with a purpose, right? I see you just throwing it like, I'm trying to understand, why is he throwing it there? Why is he throwing it 5-10 meters in front of him, right? If you're trying to scout the area, Kobe the mother, right? Just launch it where they could be, right? Not to an area where you can see. So skills, sticking to cover. So again, sticking to cover is not something you should be. It should be minimal, right? You're putting on a med kit in that one situation. That's the time. That's a good time to be sticking to cover. Otherwise, get used to using cover, but taking advantage that this is a third-person shooter and kind of peek around corners that way. So you're not limiting your mobility. You're not clunkifying your mobility, and you're not giving away your position with that loud thump. Confidence seemed much better there, right? Very little hesitation. It seemed like anytime you saw an enemy, you wanted to fight that enemy. You wanted to, and you thought that you would get the kill. So that was great. That was very well done. So definitely, I definitely see improvements, but still a lot of places for you to improve in these two specific areas, right? So we're going to leave it there. So that was again ViCeGLizZy with his second VOD being reviewed. And if you want to send another one, in a week or 2 weeks, great. Let's keep checking your progress. Right, we've seen a little bit so far, and let's see some more. And to anybody else out there who is considering or who wants to improve in conflict, right? Of course, send me your VODs as well. I'll leave my contact information in the description below. But for now, that is it for this edition of Blind's VOD Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope it was educational. Maybe not the most enjoyable feature to watch. If you want enjoyment, make sure to check out my live streams on YouTube. If you're, I'm in Japan, so the time difference may not work for you, but there's always VODs on my channel. And for anybody out there, whether you're playing PvE, PvP, or just logging into open caches, have fun out there, agents.